Hello everyone, today we are going to learn about how to make a cash book. So cash book, before learning about the cash book, let's understand what are cash book, okay? So in cash book, you need to record only cash transaction, only cash transactions, okay? So cash transaction means if you did some expense, so like salary paid, so these kinds of expense will be recorded in the cash book, because if you paid a salary, either through you paid through cash or you paid through bank, so whenever the transaction, in every transaction, if there is an involvement of the cash or bank, whether cash inflow or whether cash outflow, okay, or whether you have increase in the bank balance or decrease in the bank balance, that all you need to record in your cash book. Now we are talking about how many types of cash book is there in your course. So basically, cash book, single column, double or triple. Okay. So single column cash book is just like when you have a single column that is of cash, detail, folio, date here. Okay. So in which you only need to record only the cash transaction. No bank transaction is recorded in single cash book. In double column cash book, you need to record the transaction in which cash is involved and the bank is involved. Okay, whether inflow or outflow, whether inflow or outflow. In triple column, you have to record cash inflow, cash outflow, bank balance inflow, bank balance outflow, and discount allowed or discount received. These things you need to record. Okay. Now in front of us there is one question which is of double column cash book. Okay, so what is double column cash book? Double column cash book, the format is in front of you. I prepared it earlier. Okay, so it's basically a T-shaped account, just like you learned in the ledger. Okay, so debit this side is credit side. So if there is a receipt, you have to record in the debit side. If there is a payment, you have to record in the credit side. Okay, and this is of double column cash book. So cash and bank are recorded, and so two column we need to prepare. Okay, now read the transaction, and you have to understand the transaction and the meaning of the transaction, and then you have to understand it's a receipt or a payment. Okay, so just figure out quickly in exam what you have to do. For receipt, make R in front of transaction. For payment, in front of the transaction, you have to mention P. So that quickly you can do. Okay. So, so here, Mamta started a business. Okay. If she started a business with a capital, it means something comes in a business. So R. Or what comes in? Now you have to think. Underline. Banks comes in. Okay. So receipt, underline bank. Payment, rent. You paid a rent. So it's a payment. Okay. Understood. So you paid either through cash or bank. So it's a standing order written here. So bank involved here. Okay. I think half of you or maybe maximum of you know this term, standing order or standing instruction. So what happened basically, suppose there is a customer who is very busy and he wants to pay, suppose, rent every month, electricity bill every month, or installment of loan or interest of loan every month. So that customer don't want to do transaction by their own. Okay, so when they don't want to waste time, they give a standing instruction to the bank that every month on 15th you have to deduct 10,000, okay, as rent, and transferred it to someone's owner's account. You have to give all details. Okay, and if you took a loan from any company or from bank, you have to pay a rent every month. Then you have to give a standing instruction to the bank and give a loan account, and then bank every 15th bank will deduct the money. That is called standing instruction. Okay, So now if there is a standing instruction, understood, you have to make a understanding of this. This is a transaction in which bank is involved. Now talking about the third is withdrawn from bank. So this is like receipt and payment both, because from bank you get a cash in cash in and what goes out, your bank balance goes out. So receipt and payment both. So this is called contra entry. I will explain you later. Now fourth one is purchase goods from Lodi traders. So you purchase a goods from when there is a name of a person or when there is a company's name. So this transaction is a credit transaction. So as you know, credit transaction we are not going to record. Okay. Next is sold goods to, you sell it out your goods to central trader. You didn't get any money, so it's not a receipt because there is a credit transaction happen. Okay, so credit transaction. So again, this you are not going to record. Now paid. So it's a payment transaction. Okay. And what involved? Check is involved. So bank is there. Okay. Next is paid advertisement expense. Expense is there. So it means it's a payment. Okay. And it is through cash. So cash transaction here. Understood? Now we are going to record it. Contra, I will explain you at the end. Okay. A part of contra. Let's understand the remaining transaction. Okay. So first transaction is you need to record on a receipt side. So it's a capital. So on receipt, I will write capital and bank involved. So in bank column, I will write 20,000. Okay. This makes you record quickly and easily. Okay. So in cash dash. Next is I wrote P. So it means we need to record on a payment side. It means credit side. So for what? For rent. So rent. People write paid also. So wrong. Only rent account is get affected from this transaction. And because it's a standing order, so bank account also 650 you need to write down in the bank column. Okay. Next is 3. We are going to do it later because the contra entry you need to, I will give you a detailed explanation on it. Leave it right now. Okay, next is, so I will leave one line for that transaction. Next is fifth, because fourth and fifth is a credit transaction, no need to record. Okay, sixth is paid Lodi. Paid means payment side. Payment to do, payment, you made a payment to whom? To Lodi traders, Lodi road traders. So payment side, I will write on sixth, I will write Lodi road trader. Okay. And because the check is involved, so I will write 8,500 here. Next is paid advertisement. Again, paid means expense. Okay. So I will write on 7th advertisement expense. Okay. And here I underline the cash. So on cash column, I will write 19. Okay. Now talking about the contra entry. So let's discuss what is contra entry. So contra entry is that entry in which cash and bank both involved. For example, you opened a bank account. You opened a bank account. Okay. So the general entry for this is bank will be debited and cash will be credited. Okay. So how will you record in the cash book? Cash bank, cash bank. Okay. This is debit, this is credit. I make it simple, short, try to understand. Okay. So bank is debit here. So I need to write bank in the credit. Okay. And I will write cash this side. Okay. Opposite you need to do. If it is debit, just like we learned in the ledger, right? Same we are doing it. Bank is debit. So bank I need to write down in credit. Cash is credit. So I need to write down cash on debit side. Understood? Now suppose it's the amount is 1,000. Okay. So if I write bank here, I need to put a 1000 in the cash column. If I wrote cash, so I need to put a 1000 in the bank column. Okay. So this is how you need to do when there is a contra entry. Okay. Another contra entry will be withdraw money. Withdraw money from bank. So if you withdraw money, and in the folio you need to write C. Okay. This indicates it's a contra entry. Then withdraw money. So if you withdraw money, bank will be credited, cash will be debited. How will you record this? Cash is debit here. So you need to record cash here. Bank is credit here. You need to record bank here. Okay, and CC again. If cash is returned, amount will be right. You have to write down on the bank column. If bank is there, you have to write down 500 in the cash column. This is how you need to record the cash book, contra entry in your cash book. Now we are going to use the question. So, third one is the contra entry, withdraw from bank account for office use. If you withdraw money for office use, so it means money withdrawn, cash is debited, and bank is credited here. Okay. If cash is debit here, so bank will be recorded in the cash will be recorded because cash is debit here. So cash will be recorded on the credit side. Okay. So cash will be recorded in the credit side. Now bank is credit. So you need to record bank in the debit side. Okay. Now the another thing is when it's a contra entry, right? So in folio you need to write down C and the date is third. Okay. Now if the amount is 150, if the cash is there, the amount will go in the bank column. Okay. It states that bank is credited, right? Bank is credited because money withdrawn from bank. Okay, and cash 150, cash will be debit here. Okay, because cash comes in. Okay, so this is how you need to make a entry. Now we are going to do the total and find out the carried down. See, in ledger you know how to make it. Okay, so here it's very simple, same as ledger, but the thing is here you have to account two columns, right? So let's discuss let's discuss first cash. So 150 and 90. Okay, debit side of cash is 150, credit side of cash is 90. So which one is big? 150. Okay, I will write 150 in the total. Okay, fine. Now how to do? A moment. Okay, so 150 will be the total. Fine. Now what is the difference? Difference is in the credit side. So I need to write down balance carried down on 31st. Okay. What is the difference between the debit and credit? So 150 minus 90, that is 60. So 60 I will write here. This carried down will go to the next opposite side as balance brought down 60. Next to the total of cash column. Okay, and the date will be 1, 2 or whatever the next month first day. Okay. Next is the total of bank column. Let's do. The debit side bank column is 20,000 and the credit side we need to add 8,500 it is, plus 150 plus 650. So the total of the credit side is 9,300. Okay. Yeah. Now 20,000 is the bigger amount or 9,300 is the bigger amount? Obviously 20,000 is the bigger amount. So in total you need to write down 20,000. 20,000. So in carried down 20,000 minus 9,300, the answer is 10,700. So 10,700 will be the answer or carried down value. Okay, that will be again brought down as like this, 10,700. Okay, so for your reference I will give you a hint how to find out the 60. 60 is getting by 60 you will get by deducting the debit 150 minus the credit side total 90. Okay, you will get 60. How will you get 10,700? The difference between the debit and credit. So 20,000 minus 9,300, that is 10,700. Okay. Now, what happened? This is the question. As per this question, the carried down will be on the credit side. Sometime in question, you will get carried down, both carried down on the debit side, or one carried down in the debit and one carried down in the credit side. So it depends on the question and the figure given in the question. So I hope this is clear. Okay. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay. Thank you so much.